first I was really kind of skeptical about Prey because I played the original and really liked it. But after having seen the new Prey at E3, I didn't really get it. Like, was it a sequel? Was it a remake? Was it remastered? Was it a prequel? I really didn't understand how it looped together, so my confusion on why this new game was called Prey, but didn't seem to have anything to do with the original Prey, kind of turned me off from the game completely. It wasn't until the demo came out and I gave it a try that I really got hooked. I loved the demo. And I really didn't have a problem with the fact that it really had nothing to do with the original Prey, like nothing to do with it. And from later reading, I realized that it's actually just called Prey because the team behind the game was already working on a sci-fi game anyway, so they just kind of used the name Prey again, which I hate when companies do that. I know that it's because it is very scary and this industry is very hard to make a new IP for nowadays, so they try to latch on to previously known game titles to help sell. I get the marketing and I get the idea behind it, but as a gamer I hate it because it's really confusing when game companies have a game come out that's named after another series but really isn't anything like the original. That being said, I really loved Prey. I loved it. I've already played through it once and I'm already doing a second playthrough because the first playthrough I went with the moral ending and the second playthrough I want to get the achievement for killing everybody. But don't worry, I'm not going to spoil anything about the story and what's going on in the game. To give you a good idea, those of you who haven't played it yet, on what is going on without getting into spoilers, I'll just talk about stuff that we found out in the demo. If that's even too much, then you might want to skip ahead a little bit. But anyways, so you play as Morgan Yu, which I played as the female, of course. And you wake up in your little apartment and you're gonna go work with your brother on this space station doing space scientist stuff. But then you find out that you're actually just a rat in a lab experiment, pretty much. Your memory is getting erased and rewritten and it's just kind of like a hodgepodge of a mess. And again, I don't want to get too deep into it as you're learning, but the cool thing about the game is I love how the story is told as you're going through the game. You know, you're hearing these little voice memo things and you've got this robot droid type thing called January who's made in your likeness, who you basically programmed just in case this situation did happen. So you've got her telling you stuff, you've got your brother telling you other information, you've got stuff that you're reading on people's computers that kind of goes against this version and that version of what you're hearing. You're really having to work it all out on your own as you're going through the game and making some moral decisions on people to save, and how you're going to go about ending this outbreak. There's of course these alien-like organisms that have taken over your ship or your space station, and they're gonna murdering everybody. It actually is way harder to talk about than I expected. But anyways, yeah, you're just kind of going around finding out your story from different sources as you're playing through the game and as you're trying not to die. The story really unravels for you in a very kind of Bioshock-esque way. You find these little voice recorders and documents, and it's just kind of like a mind fuck throughout the whole game, which is, of course, right up my alley. You get tons of weapons, which you can also upgrade. One of the things I did not like about the game is I hated the inventory. It's very Deus Ex inventory, I guess is the most recent game I can compare it to. I hate that kind of inventory. It's so frustrating. I hate playing Tetris in my inventory system. But the thing that I'd say Prey did well is managing that inventory, meaning you can craft items and you can recycle items in your inventory that you don't really want into these little compact versions, and you break them down into their core minerals or materials so you can use them for crafting. So that's awesome. You find little crafting stations, you break them down, and boom, you've got a lot more room in your inventory. So I dealt with inventory better than I do in games that don't allow you to do that, like Deus Ex. I also found a lot of the mission markers to be pretty frustrating, but I really didn't run into any bugs or glitches that I've read other people run into. My game was pretty bug and glitch free, other than simple little ones that I don't really think affected my game. Like ones where I would complete a mission and I'd get the little mission thing that's up like, yay, mission complete, successful. And as soon as that little notification went away, I'd then get the mission failed notification for that exact same mission. So that was frustrating just because it was confusing. It's like, wait, did I pass it? Did I fail it? You just gave me a notification for both. There's also this kind of like, I guess, collection minigame sort of type of thing where you can go to the security computers and you can look up different employees that are on Talos 1, where they are, and you can pinpoint them on your little HUD so you can find them, and you know, that's your collections. You want to find all the employees. there were a few employees that as soon as I would select their name in the security hub, you know, it would say, new mission, find Edna. Not even seconds later, I couldn't even walk away from the computer yet where it would instantly fail me. That was super frustrating because I wanted that achievement for getting all of the employees, which I did end up getting, even though there was about 5 or 6 people I hadn't found yet. I did get that achievement. So even though it was a little bugged sometimes for certain employees, I got the achievements. That's all I really cared about. Another thing that I really, really liked was I kept thinking I was really close to the ending, and then the game would open up this whole new like skill tree for me. And it's like, holy shit, I thought I was so close to the ending, and all of a sudden now I've got 3 whole new skill trees that I haven't even, you know, tapped into yet. And you can go 2 different routes. Well, I guess 3. You can go the human route where you don't unlock any of the skills in your skill tree that would give you, I guess, supernatural powers. And then there's the route of mixing and matching, it doesn't really matter. And then of course there's the route you can go full on Typhoon and just get all of the crazy, ridiculous, overpowered powers ever. I guess I should go back a little bit and explain first. There's these things in the game that you can get that are called neuromods, and later you will be able to craft them, and that's all you're gonna wanna craft. That and bullets. I kept running out of bullets all the time. And basically, going back to Deus Ex, this is a very Deus Ex game, but not nearly as Deus Ex-y as I'm probably making it out to be. But in Deus Ex, you get praxis kits, which allow you to open up, you know, buy different skills in your skill tree. In this game, they're called neuromods. You can get ones that like allow you to transform into a certain object, like a coffee cup. Break mind control, blast enemies with like your little psychic power things. You can raise a body from the dead to fight for you. You can hack and take over turrets. You know, some of the same ones you see in all games, but some ones that are very specific to Prey that are a lot of fun to play with. I also thought that the pacing in Prey was really good. It's an open world, it's huge. You can just go around this whole space station and just run around and collect shit and loot and kill enemies all you want. But the story actually does take you to each area naturally. I had to fight myself to not go and explore and open up the entire area as much as, you know, I wasn't locked out from certain places for story missions. But I hate when I do that, because then when I get back and I've opened up everything and it's back to the story, then it's just a quick story grind to just finish the story, because there's nothing new and nowhere new to go. So I was really glad that I actually stuck to the story and went and unlocked places as I went through the story, and that really kept things fresh, and it never felt grindy or repetitive at all. I wouldn't say there's a whole lot of backtracking until the very end. You do find yourself backtracking a lot more towards the end, but with the new opened up avenues of travel, like the elevator and guts, it's a lot easier to get around. So it makes backtracking not as annoying and not as long as it can sometimes be in other games. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I, again, loved Prey. I'm having a lot of fun playing it through for my second time. Now I know the areas better, and I know where things are hidden and stuff. I'm enjoying it just as much as my first playthrough, but I'm also enjoying it now because now I'm being the bad guy and I'm killing just everybody I come across, which is always fun. My only thing I didn't like was the inventory, but like I said, I thought they did a good job of you never really having too much inventory to carry around, because you could just go to recycler and just recycle the stuff that you don't want, and then you have a lot more room in your inventory. The hacking minigame was a little frustrating. I've liked other hacking minigames and other games a little bit better, but you know, it wasn't as bad as some games I've played where the hacking minigames are a nightmare. This one was a little annoying, but not impossible. And overall, I just think everything came together to make a really good game. The voice acting, the characters, the story, and the environment, and the overall just design of each new area you went to in the game really kept everything very fresh. And it made going to a new area on Talos 1 super exciting every time. I really hope we see some DLC, because I want more reasons to play this game, and I couldn't recommend it more. Some of the fights with the enemies can be a little annoying, but once you start getting leveled up and especially when you start getting your Typhoon powers, then you'll be set. You'll be fine, and I think you'll really enjoy it. So yeah, if you haven't checked out Prey yet, I don't know if the demo's still available, but if it is, check it out through that. And I really, really recommend it. I think it's a great game, great story, and just a great overall experience. Anyways, let me know in the comments what you guys thought, and as always, thanks for watching.